Kingdom Hearts is a series filled with a cast of iconic, lovable characters like Sora, Riku, Roxas, and Aqua. But here's a question, how many of them actually grow or change throughout the series? Despite being a long-running series with over a dozen titles, Kingdom Hearts repeatedly misses a core ingredient of compelling storytelling, character development. While the series features a vast universe, emotional stakes, and crossover potential, the characters themselves often feel shallow, like they're just along for the ride and at the mercy of what the plot demands of them, rather than living, breathing people who grow over time. The characters in Kingdom Hearts should serve more than mere plot devices. They are the emotional foundation of the story. By addressing the lack of depth in their development, the series has the potential to elevate its narrative, allowing us to connect with the characters in a more meaningful and impactful way. For a franchise that revolves around the themes of hearts, emotions, and connection, Kingdom Hearts often stumbles over portraying its characters as fully realized characters. While the series offers many dramatic cutscenes, many of these moments feel hollow, not because they lack emotional weight, but because the characters involved haven't been given enough internal development for those moments to truly resonate. The glaring example of this is Kairi. Despite being part of the original trio in the first game, Kairi is a shockingly shallow character. She is rarely given meaningful agency, largely being sidelined. Although she is the romantic interest for Sora, she has very limited dialogue and her personality remains largely unexplored. We never get to see her actually be an actual character. Characters like Naminé and Terra suffer similar fates. Though these characters have stories filled with tragedy, the characters are given little room to actually be characters outside of their immediate functions in the plot. The characters remain obscured behind narrative necessity. Kingdom Hearts fails to give its characters space to actually be people. They often feel dictated by the plot rather than their roles being based on their experiences and personality. Without any real opportunity for reflection, growth, and interaction, the characters lack the depth needed to be truly great characters. While many of the characters feel hollow, there are notable exceptions that stand out. Riku is the clearest example of a well-developed character. His arc spans across the entire series, reflecting an evolving internal struggle. He begins grappling with darkness and eventually succumbing to it. Afterwards, he makes an effort to try to redeem himself. We see his mindset change and mature as the series progresses. Similarly, Roxas stands out as a fan favorite character due to his emotional complexity. Roxas begins with no memories and no understanding of who he is. What makes this story compelling is that it delves into the sense of existential confusion. Across days, Roxas forms a close relationship with Axel and Xion, slowly becoming his own person who ultimately ends up at the mercy of his existence as a nobody. His arc is filled with internal conflict and ultimately sacrifice. What makes Riku and Roxas resonate is not just their involvement in the plot, but the time the narrative affords them to reflect and grow. Their struggles mirror the real experiences of guilt, identity, and the need for belonging. Their arcs work because they are deeply personal. These two characters showcase that Kingdom Hearts has the potential to create rich and complex characters. The issue isn't potential, but the priority to build characters instead of solely the plot. The series needs to try and make a more character-centric approach to its storytelling. As the main protagonist of the series, Sora stands at the very center of the story of Kingdom Hearts. He's endearing, cheerful, loyal, and selfless. He's the emotional anchor of the series, but narratively, Sora remains surprisingly a static character. Although there's a dozen games, Sora largely is the same character he was at the very beginning. We never get to see his mindset challenged in a way that allows for him to grow as a character. Even though the series increasingly began to explore more complex themes, Sora was never really seen to fundamentally change as a character. He largely stays having an unwavering state of cheerful resolve. He started as a young boy who was flung into a conflict and chosen as the hero to ultimately save the day. He's exposed to countless worlds, ideologies, and tragedies. These experiences should leave a lasting impact on his character, shaping him emotionally. He needs to wrestle with doubt, grief, and question about the morality of his role. Sora should still stay the same endearing character, but he needs to also grow into a more mature version of himself. By allowing Sora to mature over time, Kingdom Hearts can ground its story in a deeply human core. His optimism doesn't need to vanish, but it could evolve. The tragedies he experiences should give his character lasting nuance, resilience, and wisdom. As the series progresses, Sora should become a version of himself that is very different from where he started. Kingdom Hearts doesn't need to reinvent its narrative to give its characters depth, it just needs to give them room to be human. Like many other games, Kingdom Hearts can dabble with optional character-focused side stories. Systems like Mass Effect's loyalty missions or Persona's confidant arcs allows players to invest time with individual characters, delving into their personal stories, and learn more about who they truly are. These side stories don't need to necessarily alter the main plot. Side stories should lean into the moments of stillness. Like many of the scenes on the clock tower featured in Days, there needs to be moments for conversations and reflection. These moments would allow us to discover each character's quirks, desires, fears, and personalities that make them feel like real people. Adding downtime helps build character, allowing us to connect to the characters on a deeper level. Future games should embrace the idea of creating moments for personal introspection, whether that be through hub worlds or specific places found throughout the worlds. Narrative side content can help deepen player investment. It creates empathy, builds attachment, and ultimately makes the stakes of the main story feel more personal. If Kingdom Hearts wants its characters to resonate beyond their symbolic roles, it must give room to let them breathe. Kingdom Hearts is a series with limitless potential. It's a vast universe with an emotional tone, but the characters at the center often feel as though they lack depth. They aren't given space to actually be people. We love these characters not because the story demands it, but because we get a glimpse of who they are through moments of suffering, connection, and vulnerability. Riku's redemption and Roxas' sorrow present the idea that character depth is very much possible. The magic of Kingdom Hearts has always come from sincerity. The series just needs to turn that sincerity towards the quiet moments, showcasing human truths that would transform the story into a timeless one. These characters deserve more than importance. They deserve the chance to feel real and the chance to truly live.